Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Toby Long and I'm Mirvac's General Manager of Residential Development in New South Wales. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the Bidjigal and the Gadigal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we will build the Langlee at Waverley, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. We're delighted to see so many people dial in for this information seminar, but we're not entirely surprised. With just 55 residences, the Langlee presents a very rare opportunity to secure a luxury home in this sought-after eastern suburbs location and enjoy the relaxed and sophisticated lifestyle we've envisaged for such a special place. Since entering an agreement with East Group to develop the Waverley Bowling Club, the Mirvac project team has been working hard to refine the DA-approved design and overlay the Mirvac detail. By that I mean to bring it up to the high standards that people have come to expect from Mirvac, making improvements to the resident amenity, the apartment layouts and interiors that will mark the Langlee as the ultimate luxury lifestyle address in the eastern suburbs. One thing you'll hear time and again in this presentation is the experience of our team, not only in the industry, but at Mirvac. I've been in design and construction since 1989 and with Mirvac for the past 24 years. But now a quick word about what we've lined up for tonight's information seminar. You'll hear from key members of the Mirvac delivery team who'll bring our vision for the Langlee to life. Firstly, Diana Sarcasmo, Mirvac's General Manager of Design, Marketing and Sales, who'll outline the architectural intent and the main luxury lifestyle inclusions provided exclusively for residents. Then we'll have Lisa James, Mirvac Interior Designer, who's dialed up the luxury to produce residences and penthouses that offer the quintessential eastern suburbs lifestyle that is sophisticated and relaxed without the high maintenance. Zach Hart, the National Operations Manager from Mirvac Constructions, who'll talk about our track record in quality construction. And of course, none other than Kathy Yarici, Mirvac's National Sales Director, who'll outline the important customer journey. Many of you submitted questions during the registration process, and we've included responses to several of these in tonight's presentation. There will be time in the Q&A at the conclusion of the seminar to cover additional questions. So, Mirvac is no newcomer to the eastern suburbs. In fact, our first development was in Rose Bay back in 1972. It's still there and despite its age, still highly sought after. There have been many more impressive developments in the 49 years since, such as Icon at Potts Point, Montage at Double Bay, King Koppel in Elizabeth Bay, and more recently, the Moreton in Bondi, one that sold out in a single weekend, and the Moreton Manor, a heritage restoration of a Victorian mansion converted back into a single residence. I've personally been involved in many of our projects in the area, including Raleigh Park, Montage in Double Bay, and the Moreton. Each has talked to its unique locality, which is similar to the Langlee that is responding to its fantastic location. We've approached the Langlee as we do with every Mirvac development, thinking about our future residents and obsessing about every little detail to elevate the living experience in these 55 residences. Development opportunities in such a prime location are extremely rare, and the Langlee reflects this rarity in the high level of design, finish, and amenity. The Langlee is being developed in a special place for those who want to live independently and, like me, are in the prime of their life. In general terms, only one of the future residents must be over 55. Whilst that is the case, what I do want to emphasise is that the Langlee is not a managed aged care facility in that there are no ongoing fees other than the usual strata fees, and the residences are for sale with complete ownership to occupy, lease or on-sell as you wish. What it means in terms of design is that the residences and penthouses are larger with wider corridors and easily accessible and adaptable. We've approached the Langlee no differently than we would have any other luxury development, with the addition of some standout resident-only facilities such as a wellness centre, private gardens and an outdoor rooftop space with sensational beach views of Bondi, Tamarama and Bronte for relaxed entertaining, reading a book or catching some sun. Diana later will talk at greater length about these exceptional resident facilities. Many of you will be familiar with the Birrell Street location of the Langlee, or at least the Waverley Bowling Club, so I'll just concentrate on a few of the highlights in its immediate proximity. The Langlee is directly opposite Waverley Park that includes extensive parkland and sporting fields over 10 hectares, a great place for walking, running, children's sport, or a quiet space to enjoy the outdoors. The closest beach is Tamarama, just a few minutes drive down the street, but of course there's Bondi and Bronte nearby, offering some of the world's most iconic beaches and a host of great cafes and restaurants. Shopping is also easy with Bondi Road Retail Strip, the Gould Street Shopping Boutique, Charing Cross and Bondi Junction, all within close proximity. Even more convenient, we'll be delivering the two first-rate bowling greens and a niche hospitality venue. Waverley Greens will include an indoor-outdoor casual and contemporary cafe, restaurant and bar with a strong garden feel that will be a great place for you to socialise with friends and family. I mentioned earlier Mirvac's long history in the eastern suburbs, but for those not familiar with us, it pays to know who you're dealing with when you're contemplating a real estate investment such as the Langlee. Mirvac is an ASX-listed company with a history of reimagining urban life that spans 49 years. If you think about some of the places that Sydney loves best, many bear the Mirvac signature. There's Walsh Bay, Harold Park, Key Grand, just to name a few. And many of our team delivering the Langlee have been involved in these signature projects. Our integrated business model, with expertise in design, development, construction, marketing and sales all under one roof, enables us to take on major projects and gives us an edge in delivering quality in every one of our projects. Whether it's a boutique 55 residents at the Langlee or a larger project, we apply the same level of attention and care to every little detail. We've worked hard to build our reputation for quality, and we work just as hard to maintain it. Over the years, we've collected more than 700 industry awards, but the ultimate judgment lies with you, our customers. We'll be clocking up 50 years in 2022, and we've had a proud legacy that we intend to continue for the next 50. Having made an early start on construction, we expect the Langlee residences to be completed by late next year. You can be assured that the Langlee will be delivered to the level of quality that we are known for, adding to the Mirvac legacy and fulfilling our purpose to reimagine urban life. I'll now hand over to Diana to talk you through the architectural vision for the Langlee. Thank you, Diana.
Thanks for the introduction, Toby, and good evening, everyone. Toby and I have had a long history at Mirvac. I joined Mirvac as an architect back in 1998, just in time to be involved in the excitement of delivering the 2000 Olympic Athletes Village. In the years since, I've been involved in dozens of projects across Mirvac's portfolio, but for the last several years, I've been the General Manager of Mirvac Design and also head up the sales and marketing team. Mirvac Design is an independent, award-winning architectural studio, just like any other, except that we only have one client, which is Mirvac. That in itself tells you that Mirvac is different from other developers. We were co-founded by an architect back in 1972, and therefore good design has always remained front and centre of everything that we do. The insights we gain from our customers feed directly into our architectural and design response, one of the several reasons we have so many loyal customers. It is great to have this chance to show you what we've been working on over the past several months to redefine some of the important elements of the architecture of the Langlee and also enhance the design to promote health, wellness and social connection. The Langlee is boutique and exclusive, with just 55 residences arranged around 4 low-rise to mid-rise buildings. The buildings are set across an expansive 1 hectare site that provides generous setbacks between the buildings to bring in natural light to the apartments. The tallest building is at the corner of Henrietta and Birrell Street. It is 6 stories high with 5 levels of residential. The building has coastal views from about midway up, and the building also enjoys fantastic district views of the leafy parklands of Waverley Park. On the top floor of this building is a landscaped roof for every resident to enjoy with views in all directions. This magnificent space with extensive landscaping has spaces for entertaining large groups and also intimate spaces where you can enjoy some private time. There is a barbecue with all the amenity required to have an entertaining evening with your guests. It will be just as spectacular by night as it will be by day, with the elliptical pergola illuminated with soft lighting and cut-out lanterns casting a warm pattern glow. The rooftop will be a social hub for the residents and a place where you can bring your family and friends and really enjoy the magnificent views of the iconic beaches of Bondi, Tamarama and Bronte. Alongside this building on Henrietta Street is a 3-level building that offers a more generous house-like experience, connecting in with the neighbourhood. On the other side of this heritage building is the Wellness Centre. It is 4 levels, and many of these apartments enjoy views with north-facing and across over Waverley Park. And finally, the very boutique building consisting of just 4 apartments, 2 levels of each. You might notice a subtle reference to the local architecture expressed in the strong horizontal lines and gentle curves. The materials have been carefully selected for their aesthetic appeal, but also for their durability and low maintenance. There is extensive glazing to take advantage of the views with screens to control the light, shade and privacy. Balconies are recessed and very spacious, so you'll be able to enjoy an indoor-outdoor lifestyle. The Langlee offers extremely generous floor plans. The 1-bedroom apartments average around 74 square metres, the 2 bedrooms 107 square metres, and the 3-bedroom apartments average around 124 square metres. All the residents have lobbies with direct access to a secure basement parking. And there are 2 levels of basement parking, one exclusively just for the residents, which is secure and accessible via a number plate recognition system. There will also be 13 visitor parking bays provided. Now to the Wellness Centre. The fact that this was designed during a period when you could only dream about the pleasures of luxury hotels and spas may have influenced our design team. With all these memories and wishful thinking, that we poured them into this amazing sanctuary. There is a 20-metre lap pool, a steam room, a treatment room, and on the double height mezzanine level above these is a gymnasium, which includes areas for stretching and yoga. This building is a good example of Mirvac's ability to treat heritage with respect and apply our design skills to give a whole new purpose for the modern age. We have adapted what was originally the assembly hall for the St. Gabriel's Girls' School prior to it being converted into the bowling club, and this structure has been the only one that has been retained, and we've reimagined it as a beautiful contemporary building that looks perfectly at home in the company of luxurious new residences. Being in nature is equally as important when it comes to well-being, and we've incorporated private resident garden spaces to retreat, connect with other residents, or share with your visitors. There will also be a community garden, so if you enjoy cooking with fresh herbs, you can work on your own patch of garden. You can never have too much landscaping, and there is extensive greening throughout the Langlee, both on the ground level and above. There are green walls and planter boxes to frame each building to bring nature closer to home. We are extremely proud of the architecture and design vision for the Langlee, and we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to present this remarkable place to live. And I look forward to answering any questions you might have. But for now, I'll hand over to Lisa, the interior designer for this project. Over to you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. Good evening, everyone. I've been with Mirvac Design for many years, and I've had the privilege of working on some beautiful buildings. Most recently, the interiors for Portman on the Park, Portman House, and the Frederick at Green Square, which is shown on the screen now. Each building has its own special character, and that's how we've approached the Langlee, thinking about the location, the people who live here, and how they'll live. It's impossible to ignore the beauty of the Langlee's location and proximity to the coastline, the ancient sandstone cliffs that drop down to meet the water. So we've taken that as our starting point, our inspiration, to create two distinct material and colour palettes. The first one's inspired by that sandstone, its warm beige sandy tones and strong horizontal sedimentary lines. And the other, the ocean, not in a bold way or a bright blue sea, but more a pared back, soft, muted grey of a calm ocean. The overall material palette is natural, relaxed, and polished. These are very beautiful residences, and they're also very large, which gave us the opportunity to create interiors that are contemporary but also classic and timeless. They won't date. Our finishes have been selected so that they're low maintenance, beautiful and durable, tested in our Mirvac Design Lab to ensure that they stand up to everyday wear and tear. The first impression of your apartment will be travelling through the art gallery style lobby, up within the jewellery box-like lifts, moving through a subtly lit hallway to your individual entry, opening up to a light-filled private oasis. Joinery elements at the entry of the apartments incorporate curves in their form and subtle texture in their finish. So curves, texture, luxury. We've planned the kitchens to be a central focus of the living spaces so that they become a bit of an entertainment hub. The curated selection of joinery materials in both schemes include pared back soft textured timber, durable reconstituted stone benchtops, and slabs of natural stone to splashbacks and recesses, providing a high level of finish and a soft natural palette. Form-wise, the kitchens incorporate the curves of the external facade, and they step in and out a little like waves, creating concave and convex curves. Some of these curves incorporate drawers that open onto dining areas adjacent to the kitchen, a little like a buffet unit where you can store table linen and glassware. Within the large kitchens, the pantry incorporates an extension of the benchtop, the natural stone splashback, open glass shelves lit by a recessed light from above. The open shelves provide an opportunity to personalise and style your space. You can also close that pantry to the kitchen with sliding doors, recessed within the joinery. There's a hierarchy of finish to the kitchen joinery, incorporating open timber shelving and horizontal brass trim elements, mimicking that horizontal line of the sandstone. There's the ability to upgrade your appliances and inclusions, although the standard offering is premium Miele appliances. We've designed these kitchens to be practical in their placement of appliances, cupboards, drawers, storage, and even waste bins. Penthouse residences will have their own selection of finishes, including entertainment unit joinery, feature track lighting and pendants. Bench tops are either engineered or natural stone, with natural stone splashbacks, and feature concave fluted stone elements. These residences have Gaggenau appliances in either anthracite or metallic finish, depending on the scheme. The bathrooms are tiled in an easy-to-look-after tile that looks a little bit like honed stone, with recesses pushed back and clad in natural stone slabs, softly and indirectly lit above and below from the joinery. Mirrored cabinets with ample storage sit flush into those tiled walls, and the vanity joinery curves out from these stone recesses. The vanities are clad in softly textured timber in either a driftwood-like finish for the sandstone scheme or a pewter grey timber for the ocean scheme. Basins are semi-recessed into these curved vanities, and tapware is either brushed brass for the sandstone scheme or gunmetal for the ocean scheme. We've planned the apartments thinking about how you actually move through them and how they'll be furnished, taking into account little things like the location of power points. There's natural light, large windows and sliding doors opening out to spacious, usable balconies. Window treatments are solar blinds with soft, linen-look sheer curtains. The architecture incorporates planter boxes that bring nature into the living spaces. Residences are fully tiled within the living areas, with the option to upgrade to timber floors and a choice of either cut pile twist or loop pile wool blend carpet to the bedroom areas. We actually have ceiling mounted sculptural fans in the living areas and bedrooms, so you don't have to rely on air conditioning. Bedrooms have soft white walls and skirting boards, well-placed power points, and wardrobe joinery elements with recessed finger pulls, so no handle sticking out. The wardrobe upgrade incorporates a feature joinery element, which has timber drawers, open dressing table-like recess, and a mirror-clad door over a shelving unit above. Our lobbies have been designed to look a little bit like boutique hotel lobbies. The materials are luxurious and a little bit darker in tone than the apartments. The Wellness Centre is located within the heritage double-height building on the grounds. We've retained the beautiful white mullioned windows. We've added skylights in the roof and created a space within which is white and light. There's a double height void space above the pool, and the gymnasium sits in the mezzanine space overlooking it. The 20-metre lap pool is that sort of soft sandy bottom lagoon green, and there are timber curved seats around the space to create social meeting spaces. The columns against the walls within the space are curved in Art Deco style, and they're softly lit. The gymnasium is really a gym, yoga and stretching space on the mezzanine level, with fantastic views out through the double height northern windows and down into the pool below from the running machines. As you step out of the Wellness Centre, there's a beautiful reflection garden to walk through or pause, chat and recover from that running machine. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present the Langlee. These are very special residences, and it's been a pleasure to work on this project. I'm happy to answer any further questions at the end of the seminar, and I'll now hand over to Zach Hart, our National Construction Manager.
Thank you, Lisa. Good evening, everyone. My name is Zach Hart, and I'm the National Operations Manager for Mirvac Construction. I want to go straight to the point that should be the most important consideration for every prospective buyer: construction quality. At the Langlee, you will be buying off the plan, and that is a decision that involves a high level of trust. You need to trust the developer, and you need to trust the builder. At Mirvac, we enjoy an incredibly high level of customer loyalty, which has been built on trust. Typically, more than 30% of buyers in our new projects have bought Mirvac previously. I personally have been with Mirvac for 20 years, and in that time have been involved in the construction of projects such as Pacific Place at Chatswood, Harold Park, Green Square, St Leonard Square, and the Yarra's Edge precinct in Melbourne. Over that time, the thing that has been ingrained in me is the 4 pillars on which Mirvac's reputation has been built. We listen and learn from our customers. We test and retest our products, materials, and our layouts until we are 100% satisfied. And we always strive to design and build better. And we support our customers until long after the sale is complete. At least 70% of the value in a built structure lies out of sight, be it behind the wall, under the floor, placing the onus on the builder and the developer to do the right thing when nobody is looking. We do not outsource any of our obligations or our responsibilities. Quality doesn't happen by accident, and reputations are not built overnight. We've always been extremely vigilant in the processes that are an essential part of construction. We have an industry-leading quality assurance plan that all of our staff are trained in. Our team carry out rigorous screening processes before engaging subcontractors. We review their past experience, their level of quality, and their ability to perform the job. We also hold regular risk reviews, which not only look at safety and design, but also functionality and the end use. The core construction team at the Langlee, Erin Doyle, Scott Blogg, Glenn House, and Adam Sutherland, have had close to 110 years of combined experience with Mirvac. We are in safe hands. Of course, the true test lies in how well our buildings perform many years after they have been built. There are hundreds that I could point to, but I'll confine myself to a few trailblazers in the East that attest to the Mirvac legacy of quality construction. Icon Potts Point, a catalyst for the Potts Point transformation, Montage Double Bay, and of course, Quay Grand at Circular Quay, built in the 90s, and define its age to be as sought after as ever. I'll leave the sales talk to my colleague Kathy Arici, but my point is that there is a real dollar value attached to quality in construction. Our reputation depends on delivering quality every time, and we have every intention of adding the Langlee to our honour roll of Mirvac legacy projects. Thank you, and I'll now hand you over to our National Sales Director, Kathy Arici. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Zach. So Zach and I both started working at Mirvac over 20 years ago in 2001, and we have crossed paths on many projects. It's having people like Zach with his absolute dedication to his craft and the Mirvac legacy that makes the job of the Mirvac sales and customer relationship teams just that little bit easier. And just as Mirvac does things a little differently and in design and construction, we are also different in the way we look after our customers. We believe that it is our responsibility to our customers continues long after the sales contract has been signed. We're with you throughout the construction period to settlement and beyond, making sure that your experience with Mirvac is seamless and special. The Mirvac brand has an enduring value that has stood the test of time, and Zach mentioned a few of our legacy buildings, but there are many more that we built as a young company that are still being advertised as Mirvac designed and built by owners and agents that recognise the value of our name. And it makes us incredibly proud to see properties advertised as flagship Mirvac design buildings. That's a legacy we're more than happy to own. The Moreton at Bondi is our most recent project in the eastern suburbs and a good indication of the depth of Mirvac's understanding of this market and also community expectations. At the Moreton, we succeeded in introducing diverse housing into an existing residential neighbourhood with sensitivity to heritage, the environment, and local community values. Our sales consultants work exclusively for Mirvac, and that is the fundamental difference. If you have any questions about the design, buying off the plan, or any aspect of the development, our internal team of experts can provide the answers. So this seminar was designed to give you a broad overview of the project. And as you have seen, the Langlee is a rare and very exclusive offering. The residences epitomise the best of eastern suburbs beachside living, an enviable mix of sophisticated luxury and relaxed lifestyle. The Langlee, as mentioned, contains just 55 residences, a mix of 1, 2 and 3 bedrooms, each with their own special character, with some astonishing views of the ocean, eastern coastline or lush parkland views, and others with a more intimate residential aspect. What they all have in common is exemplary design and planning, premium finishes and materials, and the renowned Mirvac attention to quality care in every little detail. I've been a part of quite a few property transactions over my time at Mirvac, and I like to think that I have a fairly good grasp on what makes a sound property purchase. So some of the attributes of the Langlee that really stand out for me in purchasing a property are the location. It's just minutes to the beach, great shopping, dining, and opposite Waverley Park. The high level of residential amenity, the wellness centre, private resident gardens and rooftop. The amazing coastal views that every resident will have access to and can enjoy, whether it's from your own residence or the rooftop amenity. The fact that the Langlee is forecast to be built and ready to move into by the end of next year, so you can start planning next year's Christmas. And the proximity of the revitalised indoor and outdoor contemporary restaurant, bar and cafe, which will offer you and you can enjoy the social aspect of living at the Langlee with a fantastic entertainment venue. And last, but certainly not least, the Mirvac difference, your guarantee of quality and care in every little detail. Mirvac has a well-tested process for securing an off-the-plan property, and I would now like to outline the next steps to secure a residence at the Langlee. This Saturday, on the 4th of December, you'll receive an email inviting you to book an appointment with one of our sales consultants in our Hall Street display gallery in Bondi. That sales gallery will open next Wednesday on the 8th of December. At the display gallery, you'll be able to view a model of the Langlee and get a more complete picture of the luxury lifestyle that awaits. We are recreating a kitchen and bathroom where you'll be able to see, touch and feel the finishes. Our sales consultants are looking forward to having those all-important conversations about layouts, finishes, views, which are no doubt uppermost in your mind. To make sure that you and our sales team remain safe at all times, appointments will take account of COVID regulations as they stand at the time. So if the New South Wales Public Health Order specifies that visitors to this display gallery must have received 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, we will need to cite proof of vaccination. All visitors will be required to wear a mask while indoors and check in using the QR code on arrival. If you don't want to have a personal face-to-face appointment or you expect to be out of Sydney, our sales consultants will be happy to arrange a virtual tour. So sales won't actually commence until the second week of February 2022. And as the owners of the Waverley Bowling Club, East members will have priority to purchase. This simply means they get the earliest appointments when we begin selling. So the VIP registration to purchase will open on the 4th of February next year, and we will send you an email with a link to register to purchase well in advance of this date. To validate your registration to purchase, you will be required to lodge a $5,000 fully refundable deposit, and if you decide not to purchase, the deposit will be returned to you in full. It's a quite straightforward process, and we will send you a complete guide in plenty of time. For now, there's just a few key dates to remember. This Saturday, you will receive an email inviting you to book an appointment with a sales consultant. The display gallery in Hall Street, Bondi, opens on the 8th of December for in-person viewing. The VIP registration to purchase will open on the 4th of February 2022, and sales will commence in the second week of February 2022. Before we go on to the questions that you submitted, I will take a moment to remind you of the benefits of buying off a plan with Mirvac. The property is brand new. You get a wide choice of finishes and upgrades. The building is covered by a warranty period. There is price certainty, and you get extra time to save and plan. But most important of all, you are dealing with a builder and a developer that you can trust. Thank you all so much for attending our information seminar tonight. Please remember there will be plenty of opportunities for you to have a more in-depth conversation when you speak to your Mirvac sales consultant, including further information on indicative pricing. And now I'll hand back to Toby to go on to some of the questions we received.
Thanks, Kath. Well, hopefully you've all whetted your appetite for this great development that we've got at the Langlee at Waverley. We've got a couple of questions that I'll go through, and I'll hand over to each of our team to answer them as they go. So, Zach, the first question's for you. What's the date of completion?
Yeah, thank you, Toby. That's an easy one. Practical completion is forecasted for the end of 2022.
Great, and as we say, we'll hold you to that to make sure that we're in before Christmas. The second question I'll answer myself. It says, how many residences have ocean views? So look, there's a collection of those. It's really in the 6-storey building, which is on the corner of Birrell and Henrietta Streets, have ocean views. And it's those ones that are facing east at the top levels. So the exact number of residences with water views will probably be confirmed with our view photography that's currently underway. So when that's through, we'll be able to explain that in a bit more detail. Kath, this is the next one. Here's a lucky person that's currently overseas and is looking to buy for my return to Australia in a few years. Am I able to rent my residence until then?
That's really interesting. We are seeing a number of expats returning to Australia, as we probably all know. For the Langlee, the seniors living requirement only requires one occupant to be over 55 or with a disability. Therefore, completely, it can be rented out so long as one occupant meets that criteria.
Great. Thanks, Kath. And Diana, this one's a good one for you. It deals with some of the design kind of focuses. And this is the question, what are the sizes of the residences?
Thanks, Toby. Well, due to the senior living requirements, these apartments are much larger than usual. So our 1-bedrooms, they're averaging 74 square metres. Our 2-bedroom residences are averaging 106 square metres, and our 3-bedrooms 124 square metres.
Great. Thanks, Diana. I'll answer this one. It says, can relatives and guests stay at the Langlee? I suppose it's an interesting question. It depends where you actually like your relatives, but yes, guests and relatives may stay at the Langlee, and they're most welcome. Diana, another one for you. How many residences look over the bowling green?
Oh, so Toby, we have about 20 residences that have fantastic open views across the bowling green.
Great. And Kath, this is a one that everyone seems to be focused on at the moment is parking spaces. It says, are there any apartments with 2 parking spaces?
Sure. So we are yet to allocate the parking spaces, but we are looking to offer both 3 bedrooms and the penthouse apartments 2 spaces.
Yeah, great. The next one I'll answer again. The question is this: is the intention for the units to be owner occupied? And there's a second part to it, which is what about short-term or Airbnb rentals? So I'll answer the first one, the last part first, and that's there'll be bylaws that are actually going to prevent Airbnb rentals. And the question about owner occupied, it's really up to the purchasers to determine that. That's you, and whether they're owner occupied or long-term leases. But just keeping in mind that at least one of those occupiers has to be over 55 to be in residence. Kath, there's a few questions coming through for you. This one's for you. Will all tenants be over 55? How will you ensure these residences remain owned and occupied by over 55s?
A lot of questions coming through on that. So again, similar to what I said previously, the senior living requires that at least one property, the occupant must be 55 years of age or older or have a disability, with these senior living requirements applied to the property in perpetuity.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. There's actually a caveat, I understand, that restricts that use to at least one resident being over 55. Okay, we might move on to the next one, which is around the community facilities. So the question is, what are the community facilities? So I'll do this in actually 2 parts, talk about the community facilities and then actually what the resident-only facilities are. So the community facilities are the cafe and the restaurant and bar, which has its own 77 parking spaces. And then there's one synthetic bowling green for recreational use, and there's one turf bowling green for the competitions that are going to happen there. In terms of the resident-only facilities, there's the wellness centre, as Diana was explaining, which comprises a 20-metre lap pool, a gym, yoga and stretching studio, and a steam room. There's also a communal landscape rooftop, including the barbecue facilities, and there's expansive landscaping throughout the development, which includes a community garden. Kath, another one for you. You seem to be quite popular. What deposit is required on exchange?
That is a good question. So next February, when we begin selling, a 10% deposit will be required on exchange, and the remaining will be payable at settlement when we hand over the keys.
Great. Diana, another one for you. Is there any visitor parking?
Thanks, Toby. Yes, there is visitor parking. There is 13 visitor parking spaces within the development.
Right, and that doesn't include the 77 spaces for the cafe and restaurant. I'll answer the next question. It is, are there any electric vehicle charging points in the car park at the Langlee? And yes, that's one of the things we've been focused on a bit, is there will be one EV supercharger provided on B1 for shared use by all residents. And there will also be provision for electric vehicle charging for all spaces where the residents can purchase a charger as an upgrade. And we'll install that in their car space. Lisa, you've been quiet, but here's one for you. Will there be an opportunity to customise my residence?
Yes, thanks, Toby. There are actually a number of customisation options provided within the residences, together with all the upgrades on offer.
Yeah, great. All right, and now back to you, Kath. If I do not want to visit the display gallery, can I still get an appointment and secure my space during the RTP process?
Yes, completely. Being very flexible in these times, we can hold appointments over the phone or virtually, whatever you'd prefer.
Great. And Zach, back to you, a bit of a construction one. When will construction start on the development?
Yeah, Toby, construction is well progressed. In fact, we've got the tower crane up. We're pouring concrete through the basement substructure at the moment, so things are progressing really well.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's one thing that we love to see is actually people on the ground building stuff. So it's good to see it's coming out of the ground. The next question I'll answer: how will the car spaces be allocated underneath? Random, or are they pre-allocated, or can you choose? So as Kath explained, we've got two car spaces for the threes and the penthouses, and those car spaces, not only the threes and penthouses but the two bedders, will be allocated following the project sales launch by the project team. Kath, this is one for you, an important question that comes up quite a bit. Are storage compartments included?
That is an important question that does come up a lot. Yes, every residence will have a storage cage located in the basement.
Great. All right, and I've got one more question which I'll answer. So, have sustainability and environmental features been considered in the design? And I think there's two elements to that. I've already explained the EV supercharger and the opportunity to upgrade to an EV charger for your parking space. But there's also extensive PV panels on the roof of the building, which will help reduce the energy consumption for the residences and the Waverley Greens venue as well. And the second part is that energy efficient appliances have been provided throughout the residences. So, look, that's the last question we have for tonight. We really look forward to you joining us in the next couple of weeks at our sales gallery with your sales consultants. And it's my son's Year 12 formal tonight, so I'm off to pick him up before he gets into too much mischief. So please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Thank you.